Hi, good morning. Today, got a little bit of time to work in the morning. Then I got my driving lesson at 12 till 2, and then we'll see how much time I have. So today we are just doing, we've got a list of things to try and make the world look a bit nicer. So we'll see how that goes. So the first thing is we have, and I just want to have a quick look at it. Maybe we'll do a little play actually. So I think the plains looks nice. I'm happy with that. I'm happy to move on. Time for the second level, which is the ramparts, where I mean it was already like I think already looks quite a bit nicer. Like it's clear what's happening, and I think it's quite cool. This little sort of background that's moving in. But what I want to do, so there's going to be a fair bit of fiddliness here. Scenery, horde. So I'm going to make new fold. Well, yeah, I'll do that as I go. So we got this little thing, which basically moves towards, and it tiles, and it moves towards the wall, and it's supposed to simulate an army coming in. And what I'd like to do is just add a bit more detail to this. So, and also I think it should be bigger, because if I start adding detail, those details are gonna like show up, and we'll see that repeated pattern. So I'm just gonna like double, triple this. I think triple. So we'll do 64, 128 maths. Let's just make it 200, and then we've got a nice easy number to work with. Right. So basically, the first thing I want to do is just kind of randomly copy this along. And the reason it's grayscale is because that means I can change the colors in code, and the color will depend on the faction you're fighting against. And one of the things I'll do is just make sure it tiles. Although probably, yeah, I think I just need to have like one or two of these that comes over the edge. So if we say that's that, and then the other side, make sure it's exactly in line. Can always fudge it later. So I don't think that's going to be exactly in line, but I'll deal with that in a minute. Just have some of these come over a little bit, just to break, just so that it tiles nicely, and yeah, just populate it. And just other than that, generally I think there should be more in here, and I think it would be nice to have like the odd face in there. Let's take the dark ones, and let's copy them around the place. Do an overlappy here. And yeah, I'm not too worried about getting it exact. I just want to place where they are, and then I'll go through and make them all exact. And then I guess with the last color, I'm just going to fill every gap that's available. So I'll try and give this a nice organic spread. And yeah, just having a bigger one, having a bigger bit here is going to help with, I'm going to avoid corners, is going to help make any patterns that the eye can see just harder to spot. And yeah, just generally have it more populated. Let's see how we go. Okay, let's take our last one. Maybe we could just dot them all out and then randomize the colors, but this is just as good. So almost every little space that I can cram one into, I'm going to cram one into. That's what she said. I wonder if we could go the extra mile and have some... that doesn't make any sense. Have some like little banners and stuff like that poking out. Could sort of imagine the orcs would have the odd like extra large unit. What I might do then is actually, well, we'll see how we go on with this. And yeah, I really just want to cram every single spot because I want it to be like full. And so yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of like messing with the size once we get into the scene, but this is working nicely. And then if I were to have like big ones, I guess they could just, I don't want it right on there. If to have big ones, then they could just sort of come over the other ones maybe, or I can just delete and make space for them. So, riveting stuff, very exciting, very thrilling job of adding these. Okay, let's see how we get on with this. Right, so I'm worried that we might see some tiling just because I've sort of been afraid to use these edges a bit, but we do have, I think we can probably cram one over here, so it would be like there and then there. Okay, so now what I want to do, and I'm not sure exactly how best to do this, but like that needs to be exactly in line with that. Okay, yeah, I'll do this, and then I can count how many pixels. So this needs to come 2 to the right. 1, 2. So, oh, yeah, I probably should have been a bit more careful about this. So, because I want to grab this now. I probably should have put the different ones on different layers, so it would be easy to just grab one. But let's go 1, 2, and then I'll grab this and go 1, 2. And that should overlap. And then how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this goes 1, 2. And then the one matching at the bottom. Oh wait, that's not even close. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so this one that I just did. 1, 2. 1, 2. So that would actually need to come lower. That, and I just need to do that for each of these now. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this bit should only just be the top. And then this one again, I should have always made sure that it's coming slightly over, if anything. So this goes down here, and that's not even remotely close. Let's do this one first. So this little black line needs to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pixels to the left. There we go. Does that match? Yeah, it matches. Because it would be 1 over. No, it would be. It would be 1 over, it's just that wasn't 1. All right, so then this should be like 5 to the right, and I think if I miss any of these, I'll quite quickly be able to see it. So this should match with this, so that needs to come 2 to the left. There we are. Right, so that's that one, and so let's do this one. So this pixel's gonna, so that's nowhere near. So I'll just delete this, and this one would come. There's probably there must be some easier way to do this, but okay, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would want to take the lid of another one and put it there. It's just for these bits where they overlap. Take the lid of that. V, yeah, being stupid. Right, so this would be, it would need to start there, so that's in line with this pixel there. And if it's just the, but yeah, it's not just the lid, it's not just the top of the lid, it's the whole lid. Okay. And then we've got this one. I think this was the first one I did. Yeah, that matches. This one needs to come a pixel to the right, and I think it needs to be a bit taller. So actually I'd rather bring this one down. So I'll just take this and bring it down like a couple. I hate that it doesn't like naturally, like unless I go out larger, like if I'm fully zoomed in, the edge will be the edge of the screen, and that kind of annoys me, the edge of the canvas. Hold on one sec. And right. This one seems funny. I swear I don't remember not having put one at the top and bottom. So that's 1, 2 pixels. So this one would be like, would have 3 pixels, 2, 3. And then that line should, so this would need to be 1 to the right. And then we've got this one. This should match with this one. So I think I'll move this top one to the left by 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that matches. Okay, good. And then this one. So it's way off. This would need to come back until it's in line with that. So this is actually quite tricky. I wonder if, yeah, so the height is correct. I wonder if there was if I could have made my life easier here. There's some other technique I could be using. Okay, yeah, no, that would actually be 1 to the right because it's that. And then this should line up with that little bit. And it does. Nice. Okay, let's go around clockwise. So then this one would match with this one. And if we do clockwise, we only have to do 2 sides. So then this one here just needs to come up by 1. And I need to check that this is 3 pixels. And that this is 2. Yeah. So this just needs to come up by 1. And then this one, I think I have ended up leaving some space there, so let's make it come out. So if that's that, it would have to be, that would be missing. Okay, and then so this should be coming, so it needs to come down by 1, or this needs to come up by 1. Yeah, that works. And then this one, yeah, we're definitely missing some, so I'll grab a new fresh one and I'll pop that here. Nice. Well, so that's, so yeah, we would want it to indent by 1. And then does that match? It does match. Nice. Good. And this one, and just that one's going to appear too wide, so this is, I think that's 4 pixels, so this would need to come in until there is just 1 pixel on it. And yeah, so it needs to just come up by 1 on the left side. Okay, and then we've got this one. Okay, I think that matches in terms of, so we just need to check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think that works. And okay, well that should do it actually. It wasn't as painful as I thought. Let's just, we'll see pretty quickly when we tile them like where the errors are. Okay. And yeah, keep the colors the same. So let's export that and then go from there. So it's definitely the size we want. Scenery, ramparts. Actually, I would rather just overwrite these and then move them in our file management. So yeah, we're just creating a little horde of beans that's going to be coming towards the character there. So sprites, stages, ramparts, scenery, and let's just move these in here. This is unused, but I'll put it in planes, trapdoor, and horde, all in the ramparts. And then, so now if we go over to scenes, main game, switch off the planes, it should be switched off anyway. Oof. So these are going to appear to be over. Oh wait, no, it doesn't work like that. So they're only overlapping at these big sections here. And yeah, you can totally see the seams. They're not that clear, but you can definitely see them. So I'll just have to do a little bit of like warbling around this line here, because technically they don't seam, but if you look at it at scale, although from here, I don't know, we'll see how it looks in the scene. I mean, that actually looks okay because you don't see a lot of it. And so then this would just need to be touched to the right. Let's see how much exactly. So that it connects with the previous one. And hopefully it's going to be a nice round number rather than some, you know, many, many decimals. So let's try 1, 1, 7. 1, 6, 1, 5, 1, 0. No, less than 1. 0, 5. 0. 0? 0. Okay. Apparently I'm moving the grass though, that's... Oh, I am moving the grass. Okay, I'm... What? Oh, I was looking at that line there. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this horde is at 0. this horde 393.6. Now hopefully it will be a round number. It's going to be exactly 400. Lovely. That's much better. I prefer that. Easier to work with. Okay. And then this one be a 0. And then this one, see, no, it's not perfect. So minus 0.1, 0, 1, no, 0.2. Does 0.2 do it? No, a little bit more than 0.2. See, this is annoying how fiddly it is, but it's fine. Let's grab that again. 0.25. Yeah, I can't see it. It is there though. I can't see the seam. Okay, good. And then this one minus 400. No, see, it's fiddly. Oh, I've got the grass. That's why. So hopefully that'll be minus 400, please. Exactly on the dot. That would be nice. No, a little bit less. So I don't know if I've like got one of my variables wrong here. Can't immediately see the seam, so that'll do for now. Okay. Oh God, I'm a bloody. Oh wait, did I just miss that? Did I just completely like neglect to see it? Okay. So minus 400. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do is, so when we set the stage, scenery. And so this is if it's green plains. It's the ramparts, so yeah, that's where we set the stone, the short walls and the trapdoors, and we just create them in a line. I also want to say, get me anything that's a horde. So should I just do a like find object by name? I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing rather than making a tag. So game object find game object dot find horde, but that's it's only going to find me one object. Okay, I'll just make a tag. So let's make the tag horde. So all of these would have that tag. For each object, obj in game object dot find game objects with tag horde. Sprite renderer. obj dot get component sprite renderer. Get component sprite renderer dot color equals enemy faction. How do we get enemy faction? Enemy faction. Okay, selected enemy faction. Okay. That should do. That should change the color of these to the faction we're fighting against. Which would be weird as humans because they'll be blue, but we can always make an exception for that. I think the Horde one is red. So actually we might just need to do like a bespoke like switch case and just say like, because I think so I'm silly. I can't remember the factions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure green is green. The orcs are green. Right. So let's just see where this is broken. Okay, yeah, it has indeed made them green. And it does seem a bit more like it's better. And yeah, we can clearly see that these are green enemies fighting us. So what if the enemy was to be... And I wonder if we should even see the grass underneath. Try out like against the black beans, for example. Yeah, that works. Yeah, it's kind of clear what's happening, right? Like, I feel like they do sort of feel like they're floating above the, they're floating above, but I have an idea for that. So one thing, because why not, is let's give it a shadow. So we go back into scenes. And so each of these horde, and I know this is messy as hell, but bear with me. So we go like this. It's got the script on it, and we just say this won't be a horde object. And the color should be black and half opacity. Let's say 2.5. And a little bit to the right. And a little bit behind. So it kind of matches the shadows. I don't know if that will change. Like, because ideally I would have that I mean, there's a lot of things we could do. We could actually make them each of these beans bounce, which would be might be a bit distracting. But let's see how that looks before we paste that along to the others. But yeah, just a little shadow. Always make that mistake. I did at one point have it set up so that if I pressed play from the wrong scene, meaning that the loading wouldn't have completed, that it would just load title screen scene. Oh, where are the shadows? Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure why. Oh dear, I've got a cough. I had a throat infection all week. Oh. Okay, let's see what's happening. I mean, we could go too far with this. I don't think there should be individually bouncing beans because I think that's just unnecessary. Like, load. Oh god. But it looks fine. It tiles well enough. And you can kind of tell what's happening. Wait a sec, did the enemy just get the thing to proc? I don't think he did. Right, I mean, the shadow's worthwhile. It costs basically nothing. And I think it would be good if there was some of like varying size in there. Just to kind of mix it up. But I'm not sure they should ever be overlapping. So I'm gonna make a new layer. And if we just said some of these were big, like twice as big, because I think if they varied in size, and they can overlap each other a bit, but not at the bottom. So yeah, just some that are a bit bigger. Okay. And I wonder if we should just have like I just don't want to like so clearly see the bottom of it. Jesus. Yeah, forgive me if I don't speak so much today. Oof. The other thing I need to be mindful of is I need to do a new trailer, and I should probably be spending my time doing that. So I'm going to kind of put a cap on this somewhere. I shouldn't add any more than that because it, yeah, so I'm just thinking of there's way more guys coming to the wall than actually getting up the ladders. I mean, maybe that's because some of them are being bombed out or like shot down, but then we should see that. So it would actually be quite nice if there were like little explosions happening among it. I don't know, but I do have a couple ideas just to spruce this up. And yeah, I'm not going to spend too long on this. We've already improved it, so we have a horde. And actually, if I just parent that to that, then it doesn't need the script. Let's look at it over the grass. These objects don't need to be quite so tall, do they? Yeah, that was a mistake. So they can be I was thinking of giving them little faces. I mean, what might be fun and actually might be worthwhile is actually making them properly match the associated faction, so they would actually be like simplified versions of the faction that is coming, or even just the full version. It wouldn't be too difficult to do. So I would either do one of these for each faction, or I would actually have like make a print of like, so like I would actually arrange the characters in like a little scene, and then take like a screenshot or something. So it actually looks like the army is coming, but then what level? Like, I guess they would just be like the low level, so it'd be like some actual goblins and orcs. And some actual like knights and soldiers. That could be quite fun, actually. Yeah, should I do that? Should I make them actually like pictures of the actual sprites? How would I do that? Yeah, I would just take a picture of the scene and then like make the background alpha. I mean, I think it's cute. This is cute. And if it was the actual characters, like the pixel ratio would be like way off. Although it already kind of is. Would match the grass. Yeah, maybe I should do that. I think that would be worthwhile. It would be quite a lot of effort. Yeah, I think that would be good. Question is, should I do that now? And yeah, how would I do that? So I would take like... It's the thing with the character constructor, so I'd have to create like a code to like randomly spawn in... I mean, I could just take pictures from the actual game itself. But I'm going to put that on the back burner because basically this morning I want to finish... Yeah, because basically like I want to have the game as strong as possible for Bullet Fest, just to see if that generates any more wish lists. But I'm realistically not going to be able to like get... But if I can get this level and the planes and work them into the trailer and just have like a bit of a nicer trailer. I'm going to start writing that down actually, just that now that's fresh in my head. So the trailer, what are the features we sell? So you must survive. Or do we go a survivor like? You must, or do we do it diegetically? I think this is better. You must survive, but you are not alone. Versus a survivor like with a twist. Summon army. Survive. I sent summon, but you are not alone. Summon your army. To defeat the hordes. Is that sentence too long? These will be like title cards. And then what are the features like? We're not going to get the new like upgrade. We're not going to get the new like meta progress stuff in because I've got big plans for that, and I'm not just going to make a quick and dirty one. We'll just use the one we have. Summon your army to defeat the hordes. Choose from hundreds, or choose from yeah, we want to like zoom in on some of these artifacts. So like see someone choosing like heal, and then the artifacts which summon on heal, or see someone choosing crit and see the artifact which heals on crit. See the, just writing the points for the trailer because that's my next priority really. See the shot of, just so it's holy. Yeah, that works. Okay, so the next thing. So yeah, I think the Horde's fine for now. I do want to consider, so I'll put that on the later list. Consider. So I think it's just going to take too long for when I need it. Consider making proper picture of units for Hordes. Yeah, we did that. We did that. I do want to just kind of get the look right before I worry about this. So let's get the clouds in there. So how do we do this? So if it's green plains. And we're going to have to change the code on this a bit. What are we using? What do we use here? So we have our thing on the spawner, which is stage dot minz maxi, yeah. I want to see if this works. shouldn't have to include this. We should be able to just use the space. So like if we fall within flip path, randomized size, yeah, don't worry about that. So position. Yeah, so this should be in fact we don't even need this, we just need go away. Okay, I just want to see if that works. For the planes, and if it does, then we're onto something. A lovely turnout today. For me, I don't usually have many people joining the stream, so thank you for joining. I do love me a subscriber, it makes my day. Right, so let's see if this worked for the planes, because that's obviously like much better code, isn't it? And I just want to see that this stuff is generated within the bounds of the level. Looks like it has so far. It's gone out of the yeah, but I know why. I know why that is. So the min-z and max-z of the planes is wrong. So let's try that in planes now, and I think because in the ramparts, and I think because I've so ramparts, yeah, so we've asked to generate the stones. We probably wouldn't need as many. And I could just easily check if that's worked. Should work. Obviously it's much better code. We do have the bounds of the level in the stage. The bounds of the stage in the stage, so I don't see why we shouldn't use that. Oh, okay, so we've got loads of clouds. It kind of looks cool though, but that's not what we want. But it has indeed locked everything in to the stage. So all we need to do, so that's great. I'm glad that worked first try. So we probably want like a quarter of that. And probably, yeah, fewer stones. We don't need that many stones. And then we just got to think of ways to make this stage look nicer than it is. Okay, clouds. Looking fine. Although in this case I would suggest that the clouds, and yeah, the stones adds a bit of texture. I don't know what other random bits of scenery we could add here to add texture. Like the odd broken brick maybe. Clouds look good though. But we can make some kind of exception. Okay, yeah, so something like so what I want is for the clouds to ignore this range and go a little bit wider. So we could say something like so we'll record this. Mix X. Okay. And then here we use mins. Like that. Okay. And then the spaghetti easy way to do this would be to just sort of say, like, if we're talking about clouds, or we could do bool wider edges, or we just do an exception specifically for clouds. So if we can say cloud, yeah, cloud. Does it contain cloud shadow? Is that what it's called exactly? Or has it got a space? I don't think it has a space. Doesn't have a space. Let's do well, actually it would just be north and south, wouldn't it? No, I'll do this properly because I actually realised, like, I wouldn't want this to happen on the plane, so we'll do bool go wide. I don't know. I don't know the best way to do this. If there's a better way, then I'll figure that out later. I don't want to get bogged down on getting the absolute best standards for this. I just want it to work. So this way the clouds would be appearing above and below. They're not just locked to the actual rampart itself. And then so we're going to get loads of issues there. And I can do go back into our generator, and it's just here that we would say true, and that's horrible, but if it causes any problems, we'll deal with it later. Just I just want it to work for now. I want to see it. Okay, so we're going to get our clouds, because I think the clouds are great. They really add to the scene. Yes, and the clouds can actually appear off thing itself, although they do look dodgy as hell when they are off. No, that's not it. Because we want the clouds to be up there, but so oof, yeah, how do I do this? So I think we actually just kind of want to undo most of what we did just now. Yes, let's just undo the shit out of that. And then basically, like, go wife. If we wanted this, it would have to be on, like, I would ask for a separate object, which actually by default is lower. So it would be like, in fact, it would almost just make sense just to not even, just to completely so like it would just be generate clouds, generate horde clouds, right? And it would, so I would just pop it straight in here. I would just go and just make some clouds but lower down, and like ignore and do different bounds basically. But I think for now we can just, like, because I don't know, yeah, so I mean, maybe we just shouldn't have clouds here just to avoid this confusion. It's a sunny day up on the ramparts. Like, there's no clouds today. Like, do we really miss them? I just really like them. I just think they add a lot of texture and a sense of realism. But we do have the, like, horde in the background to look at, which is quite fun. If I was to spend that time, I'm better off spending it making my image. So basically, all I would need to do is just, and it's going to be a bit tricky, but yeah, I just need to make a scene where we just, like, randomly generate a bunch of characters. And And I think that's what's going to make the scene exciting. So we just randomly generate some like orcs and goblins and like archers, like the basic first set. And we put them in a scene, and then I take a picture of it, and then I take that into like Photoshop, delete the background, so it's an alpha background, and there we'll have our like nice army of dudes moving towards us, which will be exciting, I think. There is also charm to just these like angry faces coming at us, like it's clear what's happening. And then the rampart itself, like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, it would be nice if, like, the odd structure here was a bit cracked. So, like, if we took this instead, stone short walls, like occasionally change this sprite for one where it's a bit cracked, right? Like it's just got the odd crack on it, just so that they don't look all exactly the same. But I think we are really kind of into nitpick territory here. I think it's cute what we have here, and it's clear what's happening. Go zoom fully out, walk right up to the edge, and it still works. And it's like, yeah, there's a horde of dudes coming towards the ramparts, and I think that works. Knockback mana is way too powerful. Way too OP. I think just the knockback ones in general, but I think we have to go into, well, this is a balancing issue, but artifacts, mana, chance mana value should be a bit higher, I guess. Okay. And I do need to add barriers to the edge, like, I don't know, what random scenery that I can kind of dot about would appear at the top of the ramparts. I mean, you'd expect them to be fairly clean. I guess like the odd cracked stone. So how does this texture work? It's been a long time since I made it. So it's just a big long chunks of a texture that is just, and I shouldn't try to like, if I just put it on the texture itself. So here's our stone bricks, and it's literally just that. So it's just that repeating all along, and that works fine. But if I wanted to add some cracks to it, that becomes a bit more tricky. But I don't know, let's try something. Because you wouldn't want the cracks to like run over the bricks, would you? So what I could do is just say, okay, like in a line here, add a crack, but then if it goes over the sideways gap, it won't look good either, because that's not how it would be. The crack would be on the brick, and then it would stop at the edge of the brick. So I would just want like this texture to occasionally give me a cracked brick. But if I draw that on the texture and just make it wider, like that's just it, you'll see a pattern. So I just want the occasional brick to look cracked. So let's put that on the list and then think about how to do it. So loose rocks, clouds, no. We can't just add the odd crack, because then it would go over the seams on the bricks. So the alternative then is to like, I mean, I could just do it manually, basically. Just so basically it's not going to be randomly generated each time, which is probably actually just absolutely fine. no one's gonna be troubled by that. So I would create. So what I'll do, I'll save this, and I will get my ramparts. No, it's in floors. They should probably all just be in like stage stuff. So we get our stone bricks. That's not stone bricks. Did I make a massive error? Oh, I think I did make a massive error. So I think I've lost this. It's fine. I can just re-import it. So we go. Yeah, so I must have. And so bridge plank. So I must have accidentally saved over the old stone brick. Yeah, so bridge plank looks like that, and stone brick looks like that. So that's wrong. Okay, so what I'll need to do then is take this and put in my stone bricks, and there we've got it back, and then save this over stone bricks, and now we fixed my horrible error. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And then we save this. Sprites, scenery, ramparts, like call this brick crack, and we just want to have the same size, and I just want to like start by making it look like there's a crack in the stone, and I don't know if this should be the exact same color, and I would just have like probably a choice of like 3 different cracks, and I'll actually just draw it up like it's a sprite sheet. So I'll make a new layer, and I'll just draw cracks that I think make sense. Doing it manually does seem a bit crazy. So maybe the best thing would be to just do some code so that these really like appear in line with the bricks. And we can probably do a bit better with texture there. So just texture these up a bit. So I think this will add a lot. I think it just adds texture. Like I'm still kind of learning what I'm doing with all this art stuff. But yeah, I think yeah, little texture to the cracks. So we'll have a choice of 4 cracks, which should randomly appear, but like with some, like not just randomly appear and not just randomly appear like in a line, but they would have to be at specific points that would match with the tiles that I have. So let's see how we get on with this. Just finish here because this doesn't take too long. I'm being a moron. Okay. I'm doing that on the wrong layer. What? Why is that coming over? So oh, damn it, I'll have to do it again. Okay, so I'll just go have a quick smoke break and then I'll come back and do this manually. And yeah, I think this is going to look good, and I just need to be careful. So like, if I just take a random transform here, let's say this is, because I just don't ever want the cracks to overlap, but I do want them to be able to like change direction and stuff. So yeah, what would be the best way to do this? So like we've got this object here. I mean, I could just make it lots and lots of little tiles and then just have them randomize. So instead of having adaptive, so yeah, we just have this be the actual size, and then just, that's still not right. And then that would just copy along, and then the occasional one would have the cracks in it. But then I just feel like we've got too many of these little items in the scene. That's probably cheap though, isn't it? That's going to be cheap. That's going to be just as cheap as like how, and then so we just copy and paste this along by exactly. So this is at 0. Is that 258? 256. Yeah, that sounds right. Those are video game numbers. Just let me select nothing. Yeah. So, and then it just, I think that's probably going to be the cheaper option. So we go, and that's a drastic change. But basically we go, okay, so what would I do? Would I just take random ones? I think the probably easiest thing, rather than generating this, will be we take our floor piece. So never mind the chunks. The chunks don't apply anymore. So we take our floor piece and we call this, and we'll put it in its own folder. We call this floor. And then we'll call this tile. And it won't be too much trouble to manually copy these along, or would it? And then what we'll do, and then can I make, yeah, point, so we turn magnet on and we say point 2.5 2.56. And then if we move this, it will only move in chunks of 2.56. And then I can take those both, move them along, and then basically, and then do this. And it doesn't matter if the name's like a bit wonky. And then just do that for the whole map. And then I go in and I say change the sprite of a quarter of them to these and I'll make different versions, some cracked, some not cracked. So I'll do like, oh, this one has a cracked bit at the top here, and that'll happen and just do that to random ones. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that, but first I'm going to take a little break, so I'll be right back. so I'll do this manually. I'll just grab this. Do this part manually. So we don't have to generate it at runtime. And we'll just go ahead, and if I delete this and just make it match up with that, then it should work. And actually I want to start at the bottom because it's very important that this matches up. Ah, see, yeah, it starts. So let's turn this off. It would be, that needs to exactly line up, and I'm expecting it to be like a multiple of 0.64. Let's just make it a multiple of 0.64. But before we move it, yeah, that should be exact, right? And then put it back to good. There's no like loss of consistency. There is a bit. Over time we lose our consistency with the edge. Or do we? No, we never had it to begin with. Okay, so ooh, right, so these would be, let's turn snapping off. This would have to start here, which is putting this one. I mean, that's close enough, isn't it? That I can't just do this by eye. And then it should be consistent across. And actually what I'd like to do is just have this really round number here. So this would be 0.32. Yeah, and then I'll start again. It's not too bad. And then we go turn snapping on. And then we, oh. And then snapping actually makes it lose its bit. So if we, so it would have to be 0.32 and snap like that, and then that's good enough snapping, and then we'll continue. And each time we'll just take the whole chunk and copy it again. And I think one issue that we have is it's then going to come over the edge. But what I can do is take the last ones and like half the height thing. And I am going to just do it for this middle third. And then see how that goes. Where's our handle? 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 No handle? Where's our handle? Hello? Why don't we have a handle there? So we have a handle here. Let me copy it again. We have a handle here. And then we don't have a handle anymore. Oh, it's just moved. Awkward. Okay. Actually, it's not a big deal just to do that all. We're struggling a bit with that. Just delete them occasionally to make sure I haven't like kind of copied it and then forgot to move it before copying again. Okay, take your time. Wait, what's these? Oh, it's just the grayed out bits there, and this should snap perfectly. One of the problems I can foresee with this is that it could affect performance because we've got a lot of objects here, but it's fewer objects than I imagine in the planes scene. Okay, and then we just want to grab the ones that have come over the edge there. Do I have anything else? Is it just those? Delete and delete. Oh no, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. So we've lost our consistency there with the bricks that are facing us. Where did that happen? Oh, it's because these lost their consistency. Right. Ha. Let's just do the same thing. So what I would do is take this and copy Where's floor? What? Oh, okay, that's not even in ramparts. Good, okay. And create another one called and I want them to go in there. Can they go in there? No, they're just gonna should go in the one that I selected. Never mind. Okay. And then we want to turn these. No, we want to take this whole thing and turn it 90 degrees. And then move it out. And then move it down. And with our 30.32 snapping, that should be just right. And then just sort out these edges. Yeah. And actually, it's probably going to be easier just to, rather than selecting all of these, I'll just copy the whole wall. Do it again. Okay. And then what I would want to do is actually just take all the things that are in here, because I would like them to be all in the same parent object. Take. What did I just do then? Getting lost. Okay, so I want all of the things that are in wall 2. To be in, actually can put them in here for now. that's okay, Unity. Is that all right with you? Can you handle that? Or is that asking too much? I mean, this might just mess with performance in general just because there's so many objects. But I want my floor cracks. Okay, I've crashed Unity, I think. Oh, no, it did it. Okay, so then we can delete that. And then take all of these. Probably going to be easier to take all of these and put them in the second one than just rename the first one. We just need to find where the thing is. This is so dodgy, I know, but so I can't even, there we go. I feel like some of these must be duplicated. No? Hey, babe. Okay. Is that like asking too much? Is that going to mess with performance? I mean, these are just flat little things. Let's start by like, because what I'm worried about is this will just cause it will cause it to take a long time to load the scene. So let's see if it does. No, seems fine. Okay. If it does mess with performance too much, we can it's not too, it won't be too difficult just to revert. Oh, and let me just check that fully zoomed out. If I move to the edge, yes, we're going to need a few more. What I hope is that like Unity's natural like culling will just, because in the scheme of things we're not dealing with that much shit here really. Like this is a very very light game. We've got some of these bits. Okay, so we do have some dupe happening. Oh dear. Okay, so let's try and just grab those then. So if I just take floor off, yeah, good. And then I can just grab these and delete them. guess I'll just do it in chunks. So I just want you guys. Just don't want it to get any floor pieces with it. Okay, that'll do. Okay. And so now that we've got our floor and wall pieces, so we're going to want some sprites, because these are all sprite renderers. We haven't got any floor pieces stuck in the wall now. Okay, good. So let's get rid of this. Ramparts, bricks, and there's some bloody floors. Bricks, stone bricks. And basically we would want the odd one to have some cracks. And then I wonder when we do the generate scenery, if I do like a little script that just one time goes through so crack like that. Crack like that. And if I flip this, it won't quite work, yeah. Let's just try this out for starters before I do more of these. Because I could make quite a few with just different crack variations and it wouldn't be too much trouble. I just want to get an idea that I'm on the right track before I fully commit to this. So this will do for now. Okay, and then we export that. And I'm going to put it straight in scenery. Ramparts, stone bricks. Yeah. And so that's a new one. And in scenery, do we have scenery, please? List sprite stone bricks list sprite. Okay, and then so we can set that up in the editor, but before we do that we go so it would be transform.find floor, transform.find wall. transform in sprite renderer equals trans.component sprite renderer. And float role equals range 0 f 1f, and then actually let's do int because I think that's easier. Random.range 0 and like 11, so we've got 10 pieces to work with because it's max exclusive, and we go if role is equal to 0, sprite renderer dot sprite, and actually let's only get the component. Let's do the role before the component. So let's only get the component if we're actually changing it. Role is just I don't think this is going to be too heavy on load time, but so if role is equal to 0, sprite equals scenery dot brick stone bricks 1. And if role is equal to 1, then do the other one. Okay. Okay. Now let's try it. Didn't notice any difference. Is it just me or are they flipped? Should that not? Okay, interesting. Interesting. So if I flip it upside, well, I shouldn't be flipping it upside down anyway. So first of all, that's too many. So we'll do random.range. I guess 20 is fine. We don't have to consider the exclusive. Just want to modify the chance of getting these cracked tiles. And yeah, it just does look a bit weird because all of the cracks are coming from up top. But it worked, and it didn't kill performance or anything like that. So all I need to do is just modify these cracks a bit, modify how we change these bricks, and we can have like a few different brick tiles. Oh, we should do it for the wall ones as well. Although would the wall ones have different cracks? And could I do this? Should I just put them all in the same parent object? Why would I not do it like that? I guess there's not really much reason not to do it like that. So we go main game. Oh, and did we find we needed more at the bottom? Did I forget to do that? Give that a good few minutes. Oh, it's already done. Nice. Okay, and then it should affect those two. And do I need to grab a bunch from the bottom? So yeah, let's test that again. So we can switch this off. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wanna. Yeah, so we definitely need more at the bottom. We could just have grass. No, I think let's just have the wall keep coming down. Although, does that make the wall look too tall? I think it's easier just to add some from the bottom. So I'm gonna wanna. This is such a fiddly way of doing it, but yeah, I'm gonna wanna grab like the bottom row. Oh, that's gonna be okay. So I'll grab like not the whole bottom row, but just like a decent sized slice. And that's going to want to come down like basically until the floor. and take a chunk like this. I can manually edit the chunk. Okay, that should be our tiles. A lot of objects. We're talking like 10,000 or something. But that will help us build our cracks. So I then just need to kind of like, yeah, let's like make a bunch of these with like different crack types on them. So like, yeah, one from the bottom here. And another one with like crack coming in from the side here, maybe from this side. And I guess we just have a bunch until it kind of looks organic. And I think we'll want to be like, yeah. Is this right? In case 0 break. Let me do case 0, 1, 2. So I think we've got like 5. Oh wait, hold on. No. So we will have to do it manually. So then we go sprite renderer dot sprite. Oh yeah, we'll put this in each case just so that we're not like getting the component for all the ones that we don't need it on. So it's a bit slightly spaghettified code, but. Is that defined in the scope? Are you sure that's defined in the scope? Okay, fine. Let's just get them all. No, let's not get them all. Let's just stick with the switch case then, with the if-else statements then. So it's just a very simple case of 2, 3. And let's see how we go with that. And then I don't know if there's other ways we could like differentiate these tile bits. Maybe I'll think of more later, like maybe some of them should be like slightly darker, or something like that. Like, yeah, they wouldn't be using like different types of brick. Okay, let's see how that looks, and then gonna go for a smoke, and then yeah, I'm gonna help pick up my son from nursery just so I can get a bit of a walk and some oxygen before my driving lesson, and I could have an early lunch. But let's go for a smoke, and then I'll come back and kind of see to my to-do list. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely added something to the level. It kind of feels like maybe this wall has taken some damage before. I would like the short walls to have the same treatment. So, like, the odd short wall would have a little bit of crackage to it. But yeah, the cracks look fine. I don't know about the stones on the wall. I don't know if they're necessary or if they should be like a different color. Like they should basically be the same color as the ramparts themselves, like they're sort of chunks of stuff. But I think this is fine. And yeah, I think while there's still room for improvement for the oncoming horde, I think the best thing would be to have like a picture of an army coming towards you. That's going to have to do for now because that's going to take time. And the cracks are an improvement. The little stones are an improvement. I think I will keep the clouds. Yeah, we'll keep the clouds. So we'll go back to clouds. We'll keep those. And just a quick look at that. even if the clouds aren't coming over the back, like we can kind of find other solutions for that. But I basically need to kind of wrap this up today and then move on to the trailer. So we could do stone short walls, cracked short wall, and the barriers to the levels, and again those might just have to wait because we are then looking at balancing, SFX, translations, and kind of other shit. This is update beans, no combo achievements. Yeah, I should probably do that, but I can do the trailer first. If the achievements don't quite work properly, that's fine. That's all going to change anyway, because the achievements again will be faction specific and they'd have their own little menu and stuff. So if anything, what I might do is just get rid of the combo achievements and then update builds, change name maybe, but make trailer. So that's how this looks. Let's just have a quick gander at the ramparts with the clouds. Yes, there's way too many. No, let's not do the clouds. Because then they ought to be on the back layer as well. Well, no, let's put that in. Let's get rid of them for now, because it's basically just going to take some work to get that right. Add clouds and clouds that go over the horde. The problem with the clouds is that they're not going to like bend to the shape of the ramparts, which is just going to make them look weird. So yeah, I'll just leave that and I'll add it if it's really pressing, so that can go after. And yeah, we're not going to have time to like make new levels from scratch, but that's what we'll do after we do the trailer. Weirdly, because it would be nice to add these to the trailer, but I have until Monday and I have lots of other shit to do. So I'm gonna only have time, and I need to play the game a bunch of times. So yeah, I will be streaming on the weekend, if anyone wants to join, where I'm just gonna be playing the game. Actually, no, I'm not gonna be streaming that because I need to play the game for trailer footage. Meaning, I'm not gonna be talking, or I'm not gonna be like I need to be recording the screen, so I'm not gonna stream while I do that. But all right, thanks so much. I will be back a little bit later today. I'm going to come. Well, yeah, I'll let you know. Just subscribe if you want to see more. All right, cheers. Have a good one. Bye.